I'm going to do a reading today. I haven't done one for a few weeks. I've been doing for a lot of transformation and transmutation within my own sort of energy sort of field. Do a lot of energy work on myself as I'm shifting and changing. I've been connecting in again with the universal laws, which are really sort of principles of how to live spiritually, how to connect. I've been doing a lot of work on starting to feel your own sort of energy vibration, living within your own source energy, and how you can use that energy to create and manifest. I've also been opening up chakras within my own sort of energy field and my energy center. I've been getting a lot to do with sacred geometry and to do with like pyramids. I've always had this as a sort of like as a sacred geometric sort of shape that comes through, and the pyramid is symbolic of a portal as we start to shift through the 3D reality into the 5D reality. And source living is all about the 5D reality, and the 5D reality is the energetic reality, as the 3D reality is very much connected to the physical and external material world. And it's learning to live within your source, within your center, and living within sort of like the universal law of correspondence talks about what you create within your own energy field and your own energy vibration through the universal law of oneness and the universal law of divine creation. The universal law of divine creation and the universal law of oneness are interrelated and connected, and with all the universal laws, they work in harmony together. They work as one vibration, one frequency. And the more you work with the universal laws, and the more you're connecting with the ascended masters, and the more you're connecting with their wisdom and their understanding, and the infinite wisdom of through the ages, you realise that universal laws work in complete harmony and complete union with each other. So every time you talk about universal laws, you're talking about things vibrating as one vibration, one frequency. And this is what this time and this age is about. It's about us awakening to our soul intentions and our purpose, and starting to realise that we can create and manifest that through our own energy vibration, our own energy frequency, that you are an energy vibration and energy frequency. We use tools like crystals, and crystals are a tool that can be used, and because they're created through the sort of oneness vibration, the oneness frequency, they always vibrate on a frequency for the highest outcome for all beings, because they work on the oneness vibration. And this is what many of us are starting to shift into as we become light vibrations and light frequency. We realize that all is one, all is part of the same vibration, the same frequency, and that we are creating, and when we create and manifest from that oneness vibration and frequency, we should be looking at the highest outcome for all beings. It's a collective vibration, it's not a singular vibration. And this is when we start realizing that we open up and we start sitting within our heart centers and our soul vibration, on our source vibration. We start to realize that we're all connected, we're all part of one. And this is what the universal law of oneness teaches us, and the universal law of divine creation teaches us, that we are all creative beings, and we're all part of the same vibration, the same frequency. We're all aligned and connected and unified as one being, as one consciousness. And when you start to realize this, you start to shift past the 3D reality into the 5D reality. I also feel very strongly that there's guidance around me, but also connects to this aligns to this unified harmony vibration, this oneness vibration of one collective consciousness. You also this when you start connecting into this, and this is where the pyramid comes in. The pyramid is very much connected into this, because the pyramid is a high vibration, like a portal into these higher vibrations, these higher realities, these higher dimensions. And when you start to realize that that this sacred like sacred geometrical shape is a vibrational frequency that you can align with, then to shift and change, and also sort of like align to start to connect with these higher realities, these higher beings, these universal teachers. It was always a portal. It was always a portal seen through the ages, and it's like the golden period of Atlantis, the great pyramid of Atlantis is this golden pyramid which was used as a vibrational frequency to start to connect with these higher realms. And this is where the universal teachers live. This is where the ascended masters teach, and it's all about oneness. It's all about oneness and alignment, and sort of living from that source vibration, and knowing that you, in the universal law of transmutation and transformation, that you at any time can be aligned with that source energy, your own source creator, and you can shift and align and dissolve any energy. So this is part of the teaching as well. And then again, if you start seeing it, the universal law of oneness is that we're all interconnected, we're all one consciousness, one vibration. The universal law of divine creation teaches us again that we are creators, but we also have access to that source energy, that source vibration, because we're all source energy. The universal law of transformation and transmutation teaches us and aligns again. All three of them align perfectly, and they tell you then that the universal laws of transmutation and transformation, that you, in different states of being, you can shift and align your energy to raise it to higher vibrations and frequencies, so you can create and manifest. And then that then connects with the universal law of attraction, where you start to attract through what you create. You mirror through the universal law of correspondence the reality that you're wanting to create for your soul intentions, for your purpose, your reality, your alignment within this creative space. You are an infinite being with infinite vibration and infinite frequency or infinite energy that you can shift and align, and this is what you call your higher self. So the infinite self is the higher self, whatever you want to call it. It's the same vibration, it's the same frequency. I've also been given lately, when I've been working with the energy, I'm being given a golden ball of this beautiful golden sphere or ball of golden light that's put into my hands. And when this is put into my hands, it aligns my vibration, it aligns my frequency. Also, they've been showing me a pyramid that I stick at the top of like at my crown. It's at the top of my energy field, and this relates to connecting to the higher chakras, because you've got some higher chakras. You've got the crown chakra, then you've got like the causal chakra, then you've got the soul star, then you've got the stellar gateway. There is one more, but I can never seem to remember this one. But I'm sure when it's aligned or it's opened, it will become more into my consciousness. Yesterday I was given like a vision of this pyramid sitting up on top of my energy, right up. It must have been like another 7 or 8 foot above my crown chakra, and within that crown chakra there was like this beautiful indigo energy, and the indigo is sort of like connects to again higher conscious, higher vibration, sensitivity, more openness. They say about indigo children years ago, which are crystal children, that was they're talking about this high vibration, this high frequency. But I also feel like the indigo color that I'm seeing is very much connected to the spiritual, universal sort of vibration energy, and it connects to the universal truth and the universal wisdom. It connects to Melchizedek, an ascended master, and also a universal teacher. But any kind of like indigo or violet vibration is higher consciousness, higher wisdom, but it also connects to like spiritual clarity and spiritual vision. And this is what a lot of this time. But it also, when you start looking at like the violet flame and Saint Germain, you look at sort of transmutation and transformation, but also alchemy and creation. And this is what's going on. These vibrations are very, very high at the moment. I also feel, again, I've got a guide that puts a wooden staff in my hand, and the staff is about, again, guidance, it's about teaching, it's about imparting wisdom. I always feel very much in my purpose, in my role, and my sort of like purpose on this planet is about sharing insight, sharing wisdom. I've always felt like I'm a bit of a channel for teaching, but I'm not teaching, but I'm sort of like connected to that teacher, like universal teacher, or like that vibration of the wisdom that comes through. And they step forward, but when they step forward, they step on my right hand side, and it's a being, an old being with like long white hair, blue eyes, dressed in white, but they bring universal wisdom, universal teaching, but they also bring the infinite vibration of the universe, the infinite vibrations of higher realities, higher dimensions, and they're now integrating within our own energy fields. Also, when I'm just talking there, I've just seen a massive like indigo orb, so I know what I'm talking about is connected into this energy that I'm feeling. So there's lots going on for many of us. You've also got the universal law of inspired action. So inspired action connects to the law of attraction. It also connects to the law of compensation, and also it connects to the universal law of rhythm. The universal law of rhythm works on an individual level, where we're awaking to our own energy and our own vibration. And what we start to do, the rhythm is looking at patterns and thoughts and emotions, and looking at vibrations and frequencies and how we can use them to shift and clear our energy to allow ourselves to develop and grow and go through these cycles of birth, of death and rebirth. Death and rebirth within spiritual realities and realms is very much around sort of awakening to higher consciousness. It very much connects to ascension, and this is what's going on for many of us at the moment. I've also, as I'm talking, I've got two big balls of golden light that are just vibrating in the center of my hands. And obviously you've got major chakras and you've got minor chakras, but I also feel like this is where the healing energy comes out of the palm of your hand, especially when you're working with like energy. Because in the past I've sort of like I've got my masters at Reiki, so I've sort of like done a lot of Reiki healing. I've done a lot of like spiritual healing, and like obviously I work with crystals as well, and like I said, the crystals are this benevolent one vibration of frequency, and that they work for the greatest outcome. They work for the highest outcome, as with all universal sort of beings do. They work for the highest vibration, the highest frequency, and we should always aspire to create and manifest this within our own reality, within our own life, but for all beings, because we know that we're all connected as one. And this is what oneness is about, and this is what the oneness vibration is about, that we're all connected, we're all part of the same spiritual vibration and frequency. Nobody or no being on this planet, or nothing, trees, plants, Mother Earth itself, we're all part of the same vibration. We all align and connect with it. It's just when we start to become open, we can start to feel it. Living from source within your own heart center is about this. It's about creating and opening up your heart center and your heart chakra, so you can start to feel what it's like to be your own source energy, your own source vibration, your own source creator. And this is what the universal laws teach us. They work in perfect union, perfect harmony. I also feel like with the portal of the pyramid is opening us up to these higher vibrations, so we can start to connect to these descended masters, these archangels again, these spiritual teachers that are bringing the insight and wisdom through for many of us. Also, there's alignment again with I feel like with the third eye at the moment, where we're starting to get clairvoyance, and starting to get vision, and starting to be able to create and manifest. They also showed me the other day that as the energy comes down through my crown chakra, and then it goes into my third eye, and it sits in my heart center. These are three of the higher chakras within the energy center, and they're asking me to live within my heart and open up my crown, and also open up my third eye, and to create and manifest from here. Because the lower chakras, when you start looking at the solar plexus, you look at like solar plexus. So it's not, solar plexus is like the gateway. It's not really the lower chakra. It's more like the root and the sacral. The root, the sacral, and the solar plexus are all connected to your physical, your mental, and your emotional body. When you start moving into the solar plexus, you're connected to your spiritual bodies. As the solar plexus starts to open up and starts to move into the heart chakra, and then you've got the throat chakra, which is about speaking your truth, being authentic, expressing your truth, expressing your energy, your vibration, communicating in a way that's more spiritually aligned. And then you've got the third eye, which is about consciousness, awareness. It's also about vision, it's about visualization. And then the crown chakra roots you to sort of like the higher dimensions and the universal vibrations, the different realities. The crown chakra opens up and allows you then to become that channel for that source energy, that source vibration. And the heart chakra helps you to awaken that, nurture it, and start to sort of live within that vibration and manifest and create from your heart center. So there's lots going on for many of us at the moment. They also showed me sort of like the diamond energy again, which is very much sort of around, and that's union. The diamond energy is a higher vibration, higher frequency, because obviously the diamond as a sacred geometrical shape has many facets, infinite faces, but it's also symbolic as a reflection of the infinite vibrations and frequencies that are available. And the diamond energy teaches you that there's many different ways, there's many different frequencies that you can access at any time. And again, this is about the universal law of transmutation and transformation. Universal law of polarity tells us about the infinite and the limited, but it also says that within the universe that there is, you know, the duality of all vibrations and frequencies. As you have the higher vibrations of the universal law of polarity, which is joy, empathy, peace, happiness, and then you've got lower ones which are like jealousy, envy, fear, doubt, all those kind of, they're all vibrations, but there are higher vibrations and the lower vibrations, but that's the duality of all creation. And at the end of the day, is we have a choice of how we express ourselves. And this is why it's so important to start to live within your center, within your source energy, so you can then express source vibration, source frequencies of higher vibrations and frequencies, and manifest them and create them in your life. And then again, this is where the law of attraction comes in. The universal law of compensation also connects into this, because universal law of compensation just tells you what you create is what you experience, and the universe is not against you. It works for it works through you for the best outcome, and it's always trying to do that. But also the universal law of compensation is about what you create is what you experience. Everything has a cause and effect, so that's the universal law of cause and effect. So if you create that, the universe is only mirroring what you have created. So know that you are the sort of like the architect of your own reality, your own sort of vibration and frequency, but your own reality. You create this, and this is what the universal law of correspondence teaches us. So that's the insight for today. Please comment. Please subscribe, share any kind of things if you feel like any of this resonates with you. Sort of like put a comment within the box underneath. Any questions, put a question underneath, and I'll sort of get back to you and answer it. All right. Have a great day.